We love being able to go to the different high school, colleges, middle schools to live broadcast sporting events around the area. Georgia Alabama Sports Live appreciates all the fan support, but without a presenting sponsor like Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC and Opelika, none of this would be possible. So we want to say thank you so much. Go to glennsmith.com. That is right, glennsmith.com. See all the inventory and see why people always say, you're ready to smile. Thanks, everyone, and thank you to Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC for being our presenting sponsor.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. This is a special episode. It's the Columbus High School Coaches Show, as we've got some incredible coaches from the Columbus Blue Devils, some first-time coaches, and we also have a coach in her third year, Coach Lashawnda Adams for the Columbus Lady Blue Devils. Got new head basketball coach Terrence Hill and the new football coach, longtime assistant under the coach before, Phil Marino. It's Bob Peters. He's coming on the show. And this is also brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Get ready to smile. Let's not waste any time. Let's bring on the new head football coach of the Columbus Blue Devils. He is Coach Robert Peters. Robert, Coach, great having you here. Do you like to be called Bob or Robert? I'm not sure who addresses you properly.
Hey, whenever I have to type it, it's Robert, but most people call me Bob.
Okay. Well, before we get into this upcoming season, just talk a little bit about your coaching background. Where are you originally from? How long you've been a coach? And what is some of your experience that led you to this point of being a head coach?
Yeah, I'm originally from Wetumpka, Alabama. Played under John Mataloni. From there, was recruited by Swanee, Bethel, a couple of looks by Wofford, and then got a PWO at Auburn. Unfortunately, I let pride dictate a lot of that, so I committed to Swanee at that point. And then, unfortunately, coming from a single-parent household, once we got the financial portion of it, I wasn't able to go. So enrolled at Auburn, worked with the athletic department there, worked with athletic compliance, still was able to be involved in college athletics, worked under Virgil Starks. From there, I grew from working from the golf team to the swim team, and then was able to assist the football team also. Graduated from Auburn in 2000, another undergrad in 2003. And after that, that was what brought me to Columbus, where I first started teaching at Marshall Middle School, which is no longer there, but started teaching at Marshall, then went to Double Churches. Then finally in 2010, Coach Marino reached out to me and brought me on board at Columbus High.
Absolutely. And you were a longtime assistant under Coach Phil Marino, which we had the pleasure of meeting him at Muskogee County Media Day, which he at the time was the longest tenured coach in Muskogee County. But you're taking over for a program that's still just about the same philosophy. But what are some of the things that you learned under Coach Marino as you're trying to establish your own culture as the new head football coach?
Yeah, the main thing under Coach Marino is just perseverance. I mean, we've been here a long time. We've had some pretty rough years. We've gone over a couple years, 1 win, 3 wins. But with the cycle of football and the talent that comes through this school, there were times where, we were really successful. A couple of playoff appearances for the first time in over 20 years. And it's just perseverance. You just keep grinding, you keep going, and then eventually everything starts to click. When all the young men buy in, then the program gets better, the team gets better.
Well, Coach, last year, not the year you wanted, finishing 1-9 in a very tough region with Carver and Thomasville, Crisp County. But you did lose a senior quarterback, your leader under center, Robert Hartford. He was really just your leader on the field. But who are some of the players that are going to step up this year? And what are some of the things as far as drills, training camp, 7-on-7s? Or what are some of the things that Columbus football has been doing in the offseason?
Yeah, losing Rob is pretty tough. He was a really big emotional spark plug for us. Led the team on the field, and we're really going to miss him. But we have a lot of returners that have the possibility to take that role, and we're starting to see that in some of these young guys. As far as our seniors go, we have a quarterback, Christian Spivey. He is taking over for Rob. He had some limited snaps last year. Shows a lot of promise, and I'm really excited about his football IQ. He understands the game. He understands proper footwork. He understands read progressions. He's going to do a great job for us, and we're really excited. We have our starting tailback returning, David Livingston. Really excited about him. He's starting to grow. He's getting stronger. He's getting faster. Defensively, we have Tim Rogers returning, who's going to help us a lot. He's kind of our hybrid guy. We can put him in multiple spots. We're excited to see where he can be most successful. Linebackers, we have Max coming back, who is going to hopefully anchor down that middle for us. But as far as our training goes over the summer, we attended a 7-on-7, but we're installing a new offense. So a lot of it is just installs and polish and bird dogs. We're just constantly trying to refine this. So, as far as our OTAs and 7-on-7s, at that point, it wouldn't really have helped us that much because, we really are trying to install this offense and get it as polished as we can.
Well, Coach, I'm excited to see David Livingston return as he led the team in touchdowns with 7 touchdowns last year and also the leading rusher. You also have a wide receiver, E. Marcus, who comes in, and then you also have Grant Geringer, who was a freshman last year. Just talk about some of the returning players to include Grant and David coming into and E. Marcus coming into your system and looking forward to this upcoming season.
Yeah, we're really excited about E. He has such a big upside to him. Unfortunately, he started his football career a little bit late, but has adapted quickly. Just raw athletic and something that we can definitely work with. He's showing a lot of promise, and we're really excited to see what he can do at receiver. He's that guy that could, with his speed, just blow the top off of a route. His footwork's good. He's able to work inside, outside. He's our total package out there. We have another receiver, Cody Mills, a senior, who is probably just as good. Excited about him. We're excited to see the ball in both of their hands, especially once they catch it. Then, of course, we have Dave returning. He's exciting. He's strong. He's going to be that guy that's going to bang around in the middle for us. And then we have Grant. Grant's Grant as a freshman showed a lot of talent, especially just in raw speed and athletic ability in the open field. He's able to read well once he has the ball in his hand. And we're excited to put the ball in his hand. And that's one of the main things is that, we're going to use multiple backs, and because that seems to be our strength right now. So we're going to use our, what we're built for right now. And that's going to be to run the ball and then spread them out and then let Christian do work at quarterback. Our offensive line pretty much is coming back. We lost 2. So, as a whole, it's young, but it does have quite a bit of experience, and we're excited to see how they grow. They've grown a lot from last year, I can tell you that. As freshmen, we started quite a few freshmen and sophomores, so they're getting bigger, they're getting stronger, and they're constantly working on these concepts. We have 2 O-line coaches working with them, and interior and outside guys. So they're getting a lot of specialized attention, and we're just really excited to see as a whole offensively what we can become. As far as our defense goes, the coaching staff defensively remains the same. So, we're blessed to have Coach Keys and Coach Lassiter and Coach Church. Coach Burnett's going to be helping us with receivers now. We did lose our DB coach, but Coach Keys, our defensive coordinator, is stepping back into that role. So we're excited to, to see how our back half is going to look. Linebackers are looking strong. We're working on the D line. So, as a whole defensively, I'm pretty excited.
Well, Coach, we are definitely excited too. Columbus High football entering a new reclassification. But talk about, like, in the beginning of the schedule, you're on the road facing Miller County, Greenville, and Randolph-Clay. And then you spend 2 months in Columbus. With this new reclassification, you're able to play all these teams. I mean, you do have an away game on September the 13th at Kinnett Stadium against Jordan, but that's pretty much going to be a de facto home game. I mean, really, what does it mean to play all the teams in Columbus, not having to travel in the middle of the season, but you do have that rigorous road trip in the first 3 games of the season?
Yeah, we're excited because once we get back into Columbus, we pretty much start region play. So, that's when everything's going to count. In our early season games, yeah, we are on the road quite a bit. We start off next week on the 2nd with Early County as a scrimmage. So, at that point, we're still in town at Kinnett. And then after that, like you said, we hit the road quite a bit. Luckily, we're only about an hour and 15 away from all of those stops at the most. But it's really good for us to get on the road early. Our guys are, once you get into that region play, and especially we've played all these guys before. So it's exciting to go to new places and play new teams, and especially for coaches too. We want to get out there and play some new teams and get some more experience. But yeah, the beginning of the season is going to be a grind, especially on the road. But, that's just football for us. Then, next year that schedule will flip. So, hey, we'll be in town almost all season.
Absolutely. That first official home game is on a Thursday night, September the 19th, against Carver, a opponent you're familiar with from the region last year. Then you're taking on Shaw, and then you're rekindling that rivalry with Hardaway. So I think it's going to be a great rivalry for all those. Good luck, Coach. The rest of the way, we're pulling for you. And hopefully Georgia Alabama Sports Live will be at several of the games. And one more final thought before I let you go, Coach. You got Muskogee County Media Days coming up August the 2nd. This will be your first as a head coach. And really, what is the message that you want to send to the local community about Columbus football? And it also gets an opportunity to get to know you in the public. Being the head coach, I mean, you were the assistant under Coach Marino. But really, what is that message that you're trying to send to the community for the people that support Columbus High football?
Yeah, the main thing is that Columbus High School produces great athletes. We've had great football players come through here. We've had some great teams come in here. And so my main focus this first season is just growth of the program.
Absolutely.
It seems like in the past couple of seasons, our numbers have started to dwindle. We're up probably 25 players this year from last year. So, that growth mindset that we have where we are getting more talent on the team, and then we can utilize that talent. That's the main thing right now this season is just for us to grow. And for the community, I would like for them to know that Columbus High School is known, for their academics, but, also too for athletics. And I'm talking about other sports besides maybe baseball, which most people do associate with Columbus High School. For instance, we just had our Esang Bassey camp, played with Denver, San Diego. When he came here, we worked with him. Obviously, he had some just great athletic ability, just born with it, but he stuck it out and he worked and he got stronger. He got faster. He got better. And that resulted in a scholarship to Wake Forest. And he had that same mindset that we try to instill in our athletes here, and he was able to be successful at Wake and then was able to play in the NFL. And now he's giving back to us, and I just want the community to know that, Columbus is of course, the academic school, but we are producing a lot of great student athletes here also. And we'd love for, all these young men and women coming up to take a part in Columbus High School, and then we can benefit, both of us can benefit academically and athletically.
Well, good luck, Coach, and looking forward to seeing you at Muskogee County Media Day.
Hey, thank you. Great talking to you.
All right, Columbus High head football coach Robert Peters. We're going to go ahead and take a break here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We got more coaches, including the girls basketball coach Lashawnda Adams and the boys basketball coach Terrence Hill, here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. It's the Columbus Coaches Show. We'll be right back.
You're watching right now the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show that is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. Get ready to smile. We'll be right back after this.
Check out these great offers at Glenn Smith and Opelika.
At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA, the GMC Sierra pickup. Right now, discounted up to $15,500 off. The roomy and comfortable compact SUV, the GMC Terrain, is up to $7,750 off.
Choose from over 400 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way to Glenn Smith and Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Choose America's #1 compact SUV, the Chevy Equinox, discounted up to $6,500 off. Chevy's full-size pickup truck, the powerful Chevy Silverado, is up to $12,000 off. And big Chevy Silverado 2500 HDs are discounted up to $6,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until fall. Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
We are back. We are smiling. It is the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show, and this is the Columbus Coaches Show. We just saw, sitting down with an athletics director, state of the programs, as we had the assistant athletic director on, Danielle McCoy, an outstanding interview. And I know there's a lot of pride in tradition with Columbus High School, the oldest public school in Muskogee County, but she's been waiting a long time in the green room. Let's go ahead and bring her on. It is the head basketball of the Columbus Lady Blue Devils, Coach Lashawnda Adams. Coach, great having you here on the Columbus Coaches Show. Before we talk about the team and get into basically what's going on for this upcoming season, just give the audience a little bit of your background. How long have you played? Where did you grow up? And what got you into coaching?
Okay, so I am a native of Columbus. I'm in Columbus, Georgia. I've been playing since I was about 4 years old. Played at Rothschild for middle school under Coach Mike Green. Played at Kendrick for high school under Coach Sterling Hitz. Just really loved the game of basketball. I was a point guard the whole time I was playing, but I really specialized a lot in defense. So defense was my strong point. No matter when I played, that was what I really relied on the court to try to get easy buckets, try not to work so hard. But I was a point guard for middle school and high school. So basketball was my main sport. And as far as coaching, I've been coaching now for 6 years. This is my 6th year as a head coach. I used to coach at Riverdale High School, and then I moved back home and got the job. I coached at Baker Middle School. Then I ended up getting a job at Columbus High. And this will be my 3rd year going into Columbus High School.
Because you've had a pedigree not only as a player, you were part of that run with Coach Hicks at Kendrick. You were on that Final Four team in 2004, and then they went on a run for an entire decade, won 2 titles, multiple Final Fours. Is that what led you to coaching? Is just basically playing under Coach Hicks? You're the floor general. Coach Hicks relied on you just to see the court, and being a defensive point guard, I mean, you've got to just see everything. And was that the type of style, which is really a perfect style to lead the coaching? I mean, we see how great Don Staley is now at South Carolina. I mean, usually when you are the leader on the court, you end up becoming a head coach someday, and that's what we see in you, Coach.
Thank you so much. Really, I ended up getting hurt my 10th grade year, but I ended up tearing my whole knee up, had a reconstruction, but I didn't get the reconstruction until my senior year. So I played on that knee for like 2 years. And then I ended up having surgery August 2003, came back and played December of 2003, and then was able to go to the Final Four. And when I came back, I still came back strong. So I was still able to play, not as effective as I was, but I was still able to contribute to the team. What really, excuse my that, what really made me want to be a coach is when I got hurt. That was the biggest thing, and I knew that I wasn't going to go to college, so I wanted to be able to give back to other players. So because I missed out on a big part of me becoming a college player, I had the offers, but I was scared to get back on the floor. So I ended up going to Columbus State, and I played on the intramural team. We won nationals in Ohio. So I just took that route, went to school for exercise science, and I just always had a love for coaching. And so I went back to Kendrick after I graduated, helped Coach Hits out for like about 8 years. About 8 years. So I was on that run where they got the state championship and all of that. So it was more so the love of the game. I wasn't ready to give it up. And I just wanted to invest back into the kids that I had learned.
All right, Coach, let's talk about it. You're entering your fourth year at Columbus? You've been there, 3 years already?
No, I'm entering
Or
my
two?
third.
So this is your third year. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've taken over a program, Columbus, that they had an incredible run, 2017. Joe Sharon leads them to a state title.
Yes.
Columbus basketball, great WNBA player, Katina Swanier, who played
Yes,
at UConn, played at the
her.
Phoenix Mercury. I mean, you're taking over a program. I mean, Columbus basketball has had success, but you can create and implement your own style. I mean, you've had success as well at Kendrick, being, under Coach Hicks, but just talk about just the growing pains from year one. And by the way, Coach, making that improvement, jumping from 5 wins to 9 wins. And you're getting most of your team back this year. Your two leading scorers, Alana Gilbert and Jayla Lockhart. And you're going into a new reclassification with all the schools in Columbus. Just talk about that transition, going from your first year to your third year, and really what is your expectations for the team this upcoming season?
It's been real challenging. Like coming in that first year, I knew what I was coming into. We have to work a lot harder than other programs because we're strictly a magnet school. So we have to put in like a lot of work. Like we stay in the gym a whole lot, but teaching a lot of skills, development, the IQ of the game. So it's things like that we have to break down and try to teach the girls that's on my team. First year I was kind of nervous, kind of feel them a little bit. Last year I got back to myself. So I brought my own coaching style in last year, which is able to help us at win 9 games. We was going for 10, but we came up short like 7 points against Thomasville going into for us to go to state. This year I do have my two leading scorers back, which is Alana Gilbert and Jada Lockhart. But I also have, don't forget about Sydney Foster, which is my big girl down low. She didn't play a whole lot because she had to follow up behind Janie. But she put her time in. She's going to be a real big factor for us this year, as well as Christina Kristoff, which is a defensive stopper. So we have 5 coming back. We lost 7. So we're very young this year, very young. So we're just going to have to stay in the gym. Hopefully this year we'll be faster than we was last year, and we'll be more fundamental than we was. So we're looking to like be that team that I come from. Like I'm letting you know now, we're going to come out pressing and we're going to come out strong. And we're going to play all 4 quarters this year.
Well, I tell you what, we live streamed that game against Carver on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And I understand it's Carver. They've gone multiple championships, multiple Final Fours under Anson Hundley. But just out the gate, Alana Gilbert, who's a very fast guard, she was able to get buckets. And then Carver made the adjustments. But I tell you, Coach, I think that what you are doing, you've been a very good developmenter of players. I mean, you see the growth and you see improvement. That's really what we appreciate about you, Coach. But really, just talk a little bit about your coaching staff, some of the assistant coaches underneath you.
This year I have two new assistant coaches because my assistant had to move to Japan. So I had to start over. So I have a coach named Gary Fuller. I think he came from Calvary, but he'll be teaching at Hannah Elementary. And then I have Coach Ken, which was one of the boys' assistants, but he's coming over to the girls' side this year to try to help me out. So we've been doing, like I said, a lot of development, a lot of individual work. So to have two assistants that you can depend on that also help me become a better coach, because the things that I can't see, they're able to see, and they're able to let me know, like, coach, go into this defense, coach, sub this one. And, we work very, very well as a team, because I believe as a head coach, you're only as good as your assistants. So we all work as a team. We're all allowed to do that development, and I trust them and I depend on them when it comes to developing the girls.
Coach, talk a little bit about some of the off-season workouts. We did happen to see you at the Central Play Date during the summer. You played 2 games, and we saw that game against Lochapoka on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. But what are some of the other things that you have been doing with the team as far as workouts, any other summer leagues? I mean, what has the workouts been like? Coach, can you hear me? I think we lost Coach App.
Coming in. We can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Coach. The floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Going into the weight room is very important. We got to get stronger in the weight room. But this summer, we played a lot of hard teams. So we did a lot of things out of town. We struggled a little bit, but it was for our good, because by the end of the season, we was able to figure out how to play with each other. Being that, like I said, I'm young, got a lot of freshmen coming in. So learning the chemistry of the team is going to be the biggest thing. But we didn't back down. We did a lot of team bonding. But as far as our workouts, we did a lot of individual workouts. Didn't do a lot of practice because we wanted to play more this year to see how we can put in what we need to put in for next year. But we traveled quite a bit this summer.
All right, Coach, let's talk about that upcoming schedule. I'm excited because you dropped a team that you're going to play in non-region, and I immediately said, oh, we're going to cover that on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Talk a little bit about some of the non-region opponents that you have scheduled. Is the schedule finalized? And what are you looking forward to about playing all the schools in Columbus in the region, not having to travel down to a Thomasville or to a Crisp County, that you're able to have a lot of games in town where your players are not missing a whole bunch of class?
Well, as far as that, like, the schedule is finalized. We'll play Calvary, of course, Brookstone. Then we got Russell County, Smith Station, teams like that. I know for sure we got 2 tournaments that we'll be hitting up. So we'll be playing more locally. I want to get more teams that's in the area that we can kind of compete against, and that's kind of not, kind of on our level that, it's going to force us to play. As far as being in this new region, it's gonna be exciting. I do appreciate, we won't have to travel a whole lot, because that did get tiresome last year. Kids did miss a lot of school. Like I said, with Columbus being a magnet school, it was kind of tough for them. Like, there was a lot of days they had to get up early and probably was falling asleep in class. But not being on that road 3 hours is gonna help us where we can get home early, and be able to come back to practice in school the next day. And even when it comes to work, not going to work tired. So that was a big thing. But I'm very excited about this region because we played everybody last year. But now we can kind of like compete in these games, but finally start counting towards our actual schedule.
Well, there's no question about that, Coach. And plus, you get these rivalries renewed, especially with Jordan, with Hardaway. I'm excited about this, Coach. And just looking at the region, we all know that the 2 top teams are probably going to be there at the end, are probably going to be Carver and Hardaway. But there's going to be 2 more playoff that's up for grabs. I mean, there's going to be, you got to think yourself, Shaw, Jordan is going to, Jordan made the playoffs last year under Coach Cobb. You know that Kendrick with Coach Long is going to be improved. I think that it's going to be competitive. I'm really looking forward to seeing just these teams battle it out, because there's only 4 playoff spots. And you also got to include Sumter County, because they're also in the region, and they're kind of the odd team out because they're the only team in the region that's not from Columbus.
Right. And that, like, the Sumter County team, we know that we're gonna have to really, really play with those top 3 teams. We are already prepared. We're already getting ready for it. It's nothing that we're gonna back down from. We're gonna come on the floor every night ready to play. That's no doubt. But we know what we're faced up against. We watched a little summer league ball, try to see, who we need to look out for when it comes to certain teams. But it's gonna be more so of the coach's job to kind of put some things together for the girls to make it, where they'll be able to get through the game and hopefully win. I mean, I'm not going out there stepping on the floor trying to lose. I don't really care who it is. Our goal is to win. Our goal is to come this year and try to upset some people, because I feel like we were working hard and we're working, every day. So we deserve to be in that top 4, and we're just going to continue to work until we get there.
Well, Coach, you know that we're pulling for you here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I mean, we're pulling for all the teams in Columbus to do well and really just to put on a show. And it's going to help the fans pack in the gymnasiums. I know they're going to be coming to the Columbus Gymnasium, and these road games are just going to be packed. I've said on previous shows, we're going to have packed gyms during high school basketball season. And then my final question to you, Coach, is what is the relationship like working with the athletic director, Chad Mathis, and the assistant athletic director, Danielle McCoy?
I love it. They pretty much give me free range. So it's not like I'm being micromanaged or anything. Like, it's really free range. They support me in everything that I need. Like, I can talk to them. They're easy to talk to, very easy to talk to. They're very supportive at the games. I don't think it's one game that they miss, like, especially the home games, whether we win or lose. Like, they're always cheering us on. After the game, they always giving me encouraging words, because sometimes as a coach you get down, so they're always there letting you know, coach, you did a good job, keep working. And that means a lot to me as a head coach, because, we didn't have a winning program coming in, but the fact that they trust me with this program to try to get it off the ground, to win, it takes steps. It does not going to happen in 1 year. To build, it takes time. So as we keep building, eventually we're going to get there. But with the support of the staff, I think it's really helping me to become a better coach as well.
Absolutely, Coach. Good luck this upcoming season. Cannot wait to be live streaming several games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and just keep working and improving the team, because it's going to end up paying off, because I see improvement with this team, and your team is just going to continue getting better.
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate y'all supporting us as well. It really means a lot when the girls see y'all at the game. They be really excited. They be nervous, but they be excited at the same time. So I just appreciate you all for following us as well.
Absolutely, Coach. That is the Columbus Lady Blue Devils head basketball coach, Coach Lashawnda Adams. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we are going to have Columbus basketball coach Terrence Hill. Don't go anywhere. It's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show. It's the Columbus Coaches Show, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, and we'll be right back.
You're watching right now the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show that is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. Get ready to smile. We'll be right back after this.
Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Choose America's #1 compact SUV, the Chevy Equinox. Discounted up to $6,500 off. Chevy's full-size pickup truck, the powerful Chevy Silverado, is up to $12,000 off. And big Chevy Silverado 2500 HDs are discounted up to $6,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until fall. Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.